Good morning, Imagine Longhorn. Today is December 4th, so happy National Cookie Day. My favorite cookie is white macadamia nut. What's yours? I like all cookies. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Today's lunch choices are heaping beef nachos and PB&J Cool Pack.
Now to Olivia for the daily report.
Thanks, ladies. Why do we put up trees in winter? The evergreen fir tree has traditionally been used to celebrate winter festivals for thousands of years. Christians use the branch of it to decorate their homes during the winter because it made them think spring was coming faster. Many early Christmas trees have been hung upside down from the ceiling from chains. Thought that was cool. Back to you.
Hey, Taylor, why do fish swim in salt water?
I do not know.
Because pepper makes them sneeze. Achoo! Now to Sam for the honesty update.
Thanks, ladies. Today's quote is, "Speak the truth even if your voice shakes." It isn't always easy to tell the truth. As a matter of fact, it's hard to tell the truth a lot of the time. But it's always the right thing to do. Just remember, a lot of the time, the right thing to do isn't always the easy way to do it. Back to you.
Thanks, Sam.
Now for the science video of the day.
Today we're going to look at 4 different demonstrations involving ferrofluid in powerful neodymium magnets. Ferrofluid is a liquid that reacts to a magnetic field. It's usually made up of a mixture of oil and tiny iron particles.
I've placed the neodymium magnet on the base of the screw. The magnetic force of this magnet is being transferred and carried through the steel in the bolt so that it acts like an extension of the rare earth magnet. Now obviously, the closer the fluid gets to the magnet, the stronger the force becomes. Let's finish up this experiment and I'll give you some more of the details a little bit later.
Now let's see how a neodymium magnet affects ferrofluid when it's suspended in water.
Once we add the ferrofluid to the water, it's free to travel all over the jar, which gives us some really cool effects when we pull the magnet to it. For some reason, this makes me think of Spider-Man. Not sure why.
Now some of you out there are probably wondering what will happen if I drop the magnet into the water and ferrofluid concoction that I've got here. Well, let's find out together, shall we?
Now when we drop the magnet into the jar, all of the ferrofluid on the bottom quickly surrounds the magnet itself, forming a big ball of oily goodness. Even though this magnet is rectangle shaped, a magnetic force extends out in all directions. Think of it sort of like a light bulb emitting light in all directions. Because the magnetic force decreases with distance from the source, a circular ball is formed like we see here.
Let's try it again, but this time I'm going to drop it into plain ferrofluid without any water. I'll pour it onto this plate and we'll go to town.
Now the first thing I'm going to do is pour out the ferrofluid onto the plate and make sure it's distributed evenly. When I drop the magnet onto the plate, it instantly forms a ball again, as you saw before. But you're probably wondering why spikes are forming. Well, think about it like this. Ferrofluid is basically thousands of tiny iron particles floating around in oil. Those particles line up with points where the magnetic field is strong and attempt to fully align with the field itself. When that happens, we see spikes because the surface tension from the oil puts a limit on how far they can go.
Well, that's all we have for today. Go Longhorns, whoop whoop!